Steph Curry has been carrying the Warriors' big three in these finals. He's outscoring Klay and Draymond, making nearly half his shots. Thompson has the fourth worst percentage through the first three games of a finals, and Green's struggles have been well documented.
You have to realize that time is not on our side anymore. Treat tomorrow as a must-win. Even though it's not a closeout game, it's still incredibly important to get one here. That was our goal the whole time, and they just outplayed us game three. I mean, there's no way around it. And we're gonna, the best part about the playoffs is how you respond, and never underestimate the heart of a champion, and we have a lot of those.
All right, Jay, well, you just heard Klay say time's not on our side anymore. Do you think the title window is closing on the Warriors' big three?
Yes, it's closing. They're getting old. I would still give them probably another 2 years or so. But obviously, I think the health of Klay Thompson and is he able to sustain that healthiness is a question, considering he's had two injuries that have been devastating injuries. We've seen Steph deal with injuries throughout the course of his career, in particular two this year. The one he just had to his ankle, the one that he had to his ankle before against the Celtics and Marcus Smart that held him out for a period of time. Draymond Green has had back issues. I know we can factor health into a lot of teams, but as his team gets older, even though Jordan Poole has continued to ascend, and I do like their pieces of Wiseman and Kuminga, I just wonder how long Steph and Klay can sustain. But I would probably say, Stephen A., it's safe to say if you had a 2-year window, that this team can go for it again. But I will tell you, there are other teams in the Western Conference coming. We talk about what the Pelicans can be. If you add Zion, you add C.J. McCollum, who now works with us. You see them in their swing up. You've seen Dallas, if they add a piece. The Clippers are going to be a team that's going to be there. Memphis is going to be a team that's going to get better. There are teams that are going to push them and push the envelope. But I say another 2 years is safe to say the window's open.
Yeah. I'm not concerned about the Warriors at all. I've already got them penciled in for next year's conference finals with ease. I'm not concerned, not even a little bit. The fact of the matter is, when Wiseman comes back, you're anticipating that Kuminga will continue to develop along with Moody. Poole is there. He's in his 20s. Okay, Kuminga's 19. Moody's 19. Wiseman's about 21 or so, however old he is. Okay, so I'm looking at those four guys right there. I'm looking at Klay and Steph, but I don't worry about age with them as much as everybody else because they're marksmen. See, with somebody like a Russell Westbrook, whose success is predicated on an extreme and elevated level of athleticism, that's different. With Klay and Steph, not so much because they're shooters. And so what I mean by that is, no, Jay, are they going to average 30 or 28 a game? No, that's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about you can pencil Steph and Klay in for 20 a night with ease over the next several years because they're shooters. And when you're shooters, it's about what you surround them with. So to me, it's about Bob Myers, it's about Joe Lacob, it's about Steve Kerr and the crew, assembling a squad that takes pressure off these guys to be so much physically so they have the freedom to shoot without having so much of a load placed on their shoulders. If this was back years ago, and we're saying what the window is, I would tell you that's closing because Steph and Klay are not getting any younger. There's teams on the come up, and obviously your success is primarily predicated on that. But when you've got these other cats that can make contributions, that could give you solid quality minutes, and then you pair them with Draymond, Klay, and Steph, from a leadership perspective and obviously from a marksmanship perspective, I like Golden State's chances for at least the next 3 years. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, see, I'm with you on 2 to 3 years. Like, I think what they've done with how they've developed talent and how you have Jordan Poole, we'll see how they continue to develop Kuminga, Moses Moody. You talk about Wiseman. Wiseman is talented. He is long, he is athletic, and Draymond Green looks different.
People keep forgetting that.
Exactly. When there's height on the floor, that doesn't force him to be the primary five position. Like, it changes the scheme of how they play. But there are other teams knocking on the door in the Western Conference, so Stephen A. They're coming.
Well, listen. If you want to tell me the Clippers, fine, because that's Paul George and that's Kawhi Leonard and with Ty Lue as their coach. You want to talk to me about that, I'm all ears. When we look at everybody else scouring the Western Conference, the bottom line is they're all looking for that next dude. Dallas has got to find him. Minnesota's got to develop him. Denver has to hope dudes are healthy next year. We assume they'll be, but they've been going for a while themselves. You've got a lot of question marks. I'm saying the Golden State Warriors, with these veterans, when they were younger, albeit 5, 6, and 7 years ago, remember, they had the Zsa Pachulias and the Andrew Bogut's as their center. Not to disqualify them by any stretch. They were rim protectors. They could rebound. They were big bodies that could make a difference. Wiseman can ball. And this notion that Draymond Green is just going to fade and he's not going to benefit from having a guy like that at his disposal, you know what? That's something that I don't think that we should ignore. We got to keep our eyes on Kevon Looney because he played lights out in the Dallas series. But at the end of the day, I think it was Dallas or Memphis. But the bottom line is this. You look at him. He's devoid of athleticism. He doesn't rim protect. He does rebound. He knows the system. He's absolutely loved and adored by Steve Kerr, but you're going to need some athleticism on your front line. One of those people they already have in James Wiseman.
Do you believe the Warriors can win the title this season?
And remember, we talked a lot about them in October, November, even December, and then Steph Curry got hurt.
Yeah.
And then you had, obviously, the Phoenix Suns doing what they were doing.
Yeah, we didn't know about Clay.
I don't think they will. I think the road is going to be difficult, and I get it. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, all that experience. But Klay still, to me, is not all the way back. I think it's still going to take until next season. I'm not going to give up on the Phoenix Suns. I think with Devin Booker, that hamstring injury maybe keeps them out of this series. I think they'll get past New Orleans. But the one thing about the Phoenix Suns and what they've done this year about taking the regular season seriously, and they got so close to the finish line last year, Molly, and Chris Paul, he wants to end his career. Not that he's going to end this year, but he wants to have a championship on that resume. I think the motivation is there. I think the experience is there. And their role players, guys like Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, I think they're ready for this moment. By the way, Mikal Bridges, and you'll like this, Steve, because I know we complain about players not playing. He led the league in total minutes. Do you know if this was the year 2003, he would have been 36th in total minutes. This year, he's first. There's just something about this Phoenix Suns team. Yeah. I just don't think Golden State is going to get it all together. I think the road is too difficult. Again, all the respect in the world for that group. I don't think they do it this year.
Okay.
Well, to piggyback off of what you said, as it pertains to people being available and showing up to work, there's only 5 players in the NBA that haven't missed a game this year.
Yep.
5 out of 450 plus.
Amazing.
That is the lowest in NBA history. That's a damn travesty. And that's something that the NBA will address. You and I both know if collective bargaining negotiations are going to be very, very interesting with some of the stuff that some of these players, not most, not all, but some of these players have tried to get away with. NBA ain't having it, and damn it, I don't blame them. Now, having said all of that, you're talking about the Phoenix Suns and how they're worthy and warranted, and it's warranted that they're the favorites. I don't disagree with that. I think they are the favorites. I think from start to finish, when you consider the level of consistency that they've put on display, they, without question, have been the best team in basketball. I've seen the best team in basketball get knocked off before, and so have you. And I think this is a year it's going to happen. I ain't betting against these Golden State Warriors, bro. And ain't there's no shade. There's no shade on the Phoenix Suns. What I saw from the Warriors, and I got it, matchups, styles make fights. We know that Denver's in over their head because they don't have Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. I get all of that. When you look at Jokic and the big boy DeMarcus Cousins as well, these are guys that you got that set up, but that doesn't work in a matchup like this because you got thoroughbreds, road runners on the other side that are the Golden State Warriors. And they ran Denver out of the state in game 2, out of the state. I haven't seen a performance like that. It was something spectacular to behold. And I was actually going to go to that game Monday night, Frank. I was actually going to go to that game. And I said, you know what? I got to be back here too early. I ain't going to do it. So I didn't go to the game. And damn it, I regret it. I really regret it. I should have went to that game because it was that spectacular to behold. Steph Curry, Klay, and then Jordan Poole. This young brother is something special. He is something special. And he's more like Steph Curry than Klay. His movement without the ball, his ball handling skills, his ability to use those skills to get to the basket, and the range with which he pulls up from. Now, that mirrors both Klay and Steph. But Klay don't handle the ball like that, okay? And so when I look at it from that perspective, I just say, I got a nickname for them, Frank Isola. It's Lethal Weapon 3. Remember, I ain't talking about the movie with Danny Glover and Mel Gibson Jr.
Get out of
I'm
here.
not talking about the movie.
You're reaching.
Hold on. I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about Georgia Tech, Kenny Anderson, Dennis Scott, Brian Oliver. You remember that back in the day. It was something special. And I'm looking at Poole, Steph, and Klay, and that's my nickname for them, Lethal Weapon
hang on a second.
3.
Hang on. You must be going a little soft out on the West Coast. We didn't know anything about Cam Johnson last year. What did he do for Phoenix? Mikal Bridges, think about the way that he played. Same thing with DeAndre. And how about Cam Payne coming off the bench? So the players that we had question marks about last year for Phoenix, they delivered. Be honest now, Steve. Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole has been great, no question about it. How's he going to do in a big road game against a team like Phoenix? We don't know that. You're just assuming that, and it's not. If his agent already called, and thank you for putting him in the same category as Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, but we don't know that.
No, hold on, wait a minute. I'm talking about this young talent. First of all, he's averaging 29. I just want to throw that out there. He's averaging 29 and a half in the first 2 games, in his first 2 playoff games. It's not like it's not, I'm just saying he had 30 and 29. That's number 1, right? Number 2. I'm looking at a skill set. Certainly, you know what? The jury's still out. Got to show up. If you go up against Memphis in the next round, assuming they get past Minnesota, you got to go up against them brothers who want all the smoke, right? Came in the game 2, handled their business like they were supposed to. They better had, damn it, okay? Then you got Phoenix. If you're fortunate enough to get past that, don't get me wrong. I'm fully aware of the challenges. I'm just saying, I believe in those brothers. You believe in certain people, why can't I? I'm looking at Steph and Klay. Their resume speaks for itself.
Let me get into
this
it real
brother
quick.
right here, with them on the court,